How to make a Harry Potter style wand box, the wand box base. First thing you're going to do is draw the rectangle shape for the base, and you're going to draw this onto the piece of cardboard you're going to use, and you have to figure out how big to make it. First thing you're going to do is measure the wand. Now all the measurements I'm giving you here are in millimeters because the instructions I followed originally were in millimeters and were metric here in this part of the world. Now, my particular wand is 295 millimeters long, or 29.5 centimeters. Now you're going to add to that the value 90 to get 385. So the length of the wand box is going to be 385. That's the wand box base. Now we want to figure out how wide this box should be, this distance from here to here. And that's going to be 130. That's a standard length, a width rather, and the wand should fit nicely. Now you just use plain old cardboard, box cardboard. Just make sure that it's fairly thin. Then starting from one edge, if the edge of your box is square, you're going to measure out the wand box base rectangle that we just calculated. Try to be as precise as you can. Then cut it out using scissors or a box cutter blade. Don't worry about if there are any creases in the cardboard. You won't see that afterwards. Now we need to measure out the area that is going to be the edges of the box that are going to fold up. So you need to draw another rectangle inside of this bigger rectangle that we've already calculated. And the edge all the way around is going to be 30 millimeters. That's standard height. So you're going to draw a 30 millimeter edge all the way around the rectangle, the big rectangle. Then you're going to cut out the corners. Now for the end flap that's going to fold up, you want it to be a tiny bit smaller. So you're going to cut on the inside of the line that you made there. So because you want the end pieces to go inside of the outside flaps. And you'll see what I mean when I glue it together here. Now using some kind of metal object that's not too sharp, that won't cut the cardboard, you want to crease the lines that are going to be folded up. So just score it like by making a dent in the cardboard. All the way around. And then just fold up the pieces so they stay up. And there the wand fits. Perfect. Then take some hot glue and put some of the glue along the flap on the end and then hold it up, and then use a little bit of sticky tape to keep it in place. You'll notice how the end pieces fit inside of the two side pieces. That's why they need to be a tiny bit smaller. So you're going to cut on the inside of the line of that one so that it fits inside. And then some more sticky tape to hold it closed with the hot glue, and there's your base. Now for the lid. The lid's got a little bit more complex calculations, but it's really not that hard as it looks. The top of the box needs to be a little bit bigger than the bottom of the box, obviously, so that it fits over top. Again, we're going to do the rectangle thing. We need to calculate the length of the box lid. Now here's the calculation. Length of the lid rectangle. It's the wand length plus 90 plus 4 times the card thickness. Now the card thickness you measure, and it's how thick the card is. So for this case, it's going to be 295 wand length plus 90 plus 4 times 2, because my box is 2 millimeters thick. So 295 plus 90 plus 8 equals 393. Now you have to, the width. The width is 130 plus 4 times the card thickness. So 130 plus 4 times 2, which is 8. 130 plus 8, 138 millimeters. And that's how wide the box is going to be. That's the lid. Now you want to draw the measurements on the cardboard and complete it as in the base. We just did same procedure. I just didn't have enough time to show it all, so I'm just going to say refer to the first part and do exactly the same thing with the new measurements. And if you're lucky and all went well and you measured properly, the lid should fit over the base. Now you need to cover your box up with some kind of paper. Now I did cover the box up with the stripy paper I had in the house. However, I didn't press record on it when I did cover it, so I'm just showing you how to cover the base with just wrapping, any kind of wrapping paper, just so you can see how I did it. But obviously I did not make a box of happy birthday paper. So you put some glue on the bottom of the box. Double-sided sticky tape paper is the best for this because it doesn't make the paper all pucker up when the glue is drying. But I didn't have any, so I'm using white glue here. Then some glue on the side. Make sure it's nicely pressed down so that you get iron out all the wrinkles. Make sure the paper is tight on the box. Then you're going to cut the end pieces a little bit to make it easier to fold over the end. And that's going to be 2 slits on both sides. And then you're going to cut out a little piece here to make it easier to fold over. You can see what I'm doing. Now you can pretty much wrap these up any way you want, as long as the paper goes over the box. And the paper you use is completely up to you. You can use whatever color of paper you want. It just has to be long enough to cover the entire box. That's why wrapping paper is ideal for this, because it fits over top of the box. And there's lots of different colors of wrapping paper that you'll be able to find out there. So the paper gets, and if you have to cut a little bit more pieces to make it fit, it doesn't really matter. And then you're going to just put it over top of the edge of the box. And it doesn't really matter if the paper on the inside is a little bit uneven, because you're going to be putting something inside the box to cover the edges anyway, because you're not going to see them. Now you want to put notches in the top box lid in order to open the box more easily. So you mark the center of the box lid, and then you just draw a little semicircle on both sides, and then just cut them out with the box cutter. This will make it easier to pull the box lid off. So you can see the color of paper I used. Now we're going to put in the liner. Put a little bit of hot glue on the inside edge. And then you're going to take a little bit of material, any kind of material you want, and you're just going to press it on there after you've folded the edge over so that you have a nice clean edge. See how I'm folding it over? And then it goes up against the box like that. It doesn't matter if it's lumpy inside anyway. It doesn't have to be tight. Then a little bit of hot glue, and then press it onto the edge. And the ends you can just tuck them under. If it's too long, cut it. You can just tuck them under and leave them right like that. Or you can glue them down. It's up to you. And use hot glue the ends down, fold them over, push them up against the end of the box. And you have a nice place to put your wand. And that's the Lumos wand I made on my last video. Now these little decals I printed off the Dad Can Do website. But you need a membership to get onto that website, so you can put whatever you want on your wand box. They come with little end labels. They're really cute. And there's the finished box.